Finally, it's back. But only for a limited time and only in comp for now because somehow the code went all spaghetti and stopped working in quick play. On Overwatch's socials, they said, and I quote, "Due to an issue with quick play 6v6 open queue, the mode does not have perks enabled. We are switching back to 5v5 in quick play, but players can still experience 6v6 in competitive play. We plan to fix the mode for quick play in a future update." That's fine by me. I don't really take rank too seriously, except for in this game in the background where I went 57-7 and I had to carry the rest of the team because they're all silver players. How do I know they were silver players? Because my predicted rank after this match was silver 2, and I mean, there were times where I would just stand right next to a support and they wouldn't heal me, like, at all. But I guess that's the consequences of quick play 6v6 being bugged, huh? Anyway, I'm not gonna let that detract from the point of this video, which is shining a light on perks in 6v6, because I think they fixed some of the problems that the original 6v6 had way back when. There's also the fact that this 6v6 is limited to 2 tanks per team, making GOATs near enough impossible, unless you want to play 2 tanks and 4 supports. I don't really recommend this, but maybe when quick play 6v6 is back you can play around with it? I don't know, knock yourself out. There are certain perks that don't really change anything, like Winston's Tesla cannon doing more damage to deployables, because even though it got buffed in this patch, it's still entirely situational and dependent on what the enemy team is playing. But then there are certain perks like Sojourn's second slide mage perk that make getting dived by 2 tanks a lot more manageable because it's easier to get out of the fight. I think, at the end of the day, it still comes down to there being some teething problems with perks because some of them are just utterly useless, whilst others can completely change the flow of the game, and that especially applies to 6v6. But this video isn't me whining about how good/bad some of the perks are. That was last video. The only problem I have with 6v6 coming back is that it isn't a permanent thing. I don't care that it's open queue or the fact that it's only competitive at the minute because quick play 6v6 kind of just shit the bed instantly. In fact, I actually quite like the fact that it's open queue because it means queue times are shorter and you can adapt to what the enemy team is playing a lot easier because you're not locked behind the limitations of a specific role, except tanks because there's a limit to the number of that role, but that's not really that big of a problem. I just don't really understand why they're not adding it as a permanent mode considering how well received it is every time it comes back to the game. I don't see anyone complaining about 6v6, and it's not as if the team needs to run more experiments on whether or not people want it in the game because it doesn't take a genius to tell us yes, people want to play 6v6 over 5v5 because, in my opinion, it just outright feels nicer and has a better flow. Especially for tanks because they're not the only one of their role, meaning they're not constantly being pressured all match because they're the biggest unit. Blizzard, please just keep 6v6 in the game permanently. Stop doing all of this here for a limited time malarkey and commit to giving the community what they want, because I guarantee it will make the player count jump and stay at that peak for a short while rather than plummeting again after the mode leaves the game. Hero bans are going to make more people want to play comp because there won't be the get steamrolled by Mauga for 10 minutes straight kind of games anymore, but permanent 6v6 would up the player count overall massively, not just in competitive. But that just about does it for this video. Now, don't take this as me being like 6v6 is so much better than 5v5 or anything like that. I mean, I prefer 6v6, especially because I'm getting back into playing tank, but I can see why people may prefer 5v5, and honestly, it's extremely valid. People are entitled to their own opinions about things, and shouldn't be swayed just because some people are saying something different to what they think about something. Although, you just watched a video of me talking about how much I like perks in 6v6 and how they changed the flow of the game for the better, so I mean, I'm open to any discourse in the comments if you want to tell me how you feel about it. I'm intrigued to what you guys think about this entire thing. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and want to see more. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.